Hi, it's Corey, and welcome to episode 63 of Coach Barnabas. It has been now 10 days since I recorded episode 62, which was, not what I had expected after recording episode 61 a couple months back. And that was talking about a health episode I had exactly a month and 10 days ago on July 12th. Today's August 22nd as I record this. So it's been a month and 10 days, thereabouts, so 41 days since the stroke. And even saying I had a stroke is a hard sentence for me to speak. It's hard for me to wrap my head around. It comes out of my mouth sideways. It just is not comfortable to say, but it's a reality. And it's something I've had to think about daily since then. It's been a regular part of my thought process, and whether it's, from the medications I have to take or, just moving forward, just adjusting life a little bit to, just to adapt and to be cautious of signs and things like that that could indicate I'm having health issues. As we get older, that's just a reality. But whether you're young or old, is pay attention to your body, because it may be sending signals that something's not right. So anyway, all that aside, this episode is really piggybacking off of episode 62 and dealing with the reality post-stroke, but also thinking about why do these things happen? And people, as a man of faith, as a Christian, I tend to look at them a particular way. People who aren't Christians or who are not maybe seasoned Christians can oftentimes misinterpret. Hopefully, I'm getting some wind here, so hopefully the microphone is doing a good job buffering it. But anyway, sometimes, and I grew up in a belief system that used to think along the lines of, if something bad happened to you, it was God punishing you. That used to be a thing in my house. It was, oh, God punishing you. That's God's punishment. And sometimes I even thought that way, and thinking like, if we zig when God says zag, that he's got this big ruler and he's going to smack us with it for disobeying or just making a mistake. And in my 42 years now of being a Christian, I've learned that that's not who he is. He is forgiving. He has shown me grace time after time after time, countless times in my life, because there have been innumerable times I'm standing literally on a beach and there's sand. You could probably double the grains of sand and there's a bee flying around me. That's not fun. I don't need that to happen while I'm on video. That's okay. Yeah, I'm going to leave that in. I'm not going to edit it out. So he's still, how you doing? All right. Maybe I will edit this out. It's taking a little long. Anyway, just the grains of sand probably are pretty comparable to the number of times I have failed. I've made mistakes. I have disobeyed God. And yet, beyond the number of grains of sand or the failures or mistakes or, outright moments of disobedience in my life, God has forgiven me and extended me grace. And he's carried me and blessed me in spite of my past failures. And that's the God I serve. But in looking back at these things that have happened in the last month or so, that have transpired and that I've had to adjust to and endure and whatever else, again, that could have been so much worse than it is, to be here standing before you 40 days later and be able to speak to you, hopefully coherently, but certainly not hindered because of a stroke, or that I'm able to walk. Many people have a stroke and they struggle for weeks, months, maybe even years beyond. And of course, many don't even survive it in the first place. So to be standing before you, I just consider it a blessing. Of the infinite blessing to just be standing before you and be able to talk to you. And I think, and again, in processing all this, is just thinking about, okay, God, what do you want me to learn from this? Why did you allow me to experience this? What is the purpose of it? And I try to look at everything that way, as what is the purpose behind these things? And a quote I heard some years ago has been echoing in my heart and mind for for the last couple weeks, and that is, he will not protect you from what he will perfect you through. Let me say that again. He will not protect you from what he will perfect you through. So, in taking that quote that I found to be very true, and to apply it, is to say, okay, God could have protected me from the stroke, but instead he put me exactly where I needed to be to get the care I needed promptly, which is, when you're having a stroke, every second counts. So, and again, if you don't know all the details, go back and listen to or watch episode 62. I go into a lot more detail into the events of that day. But the point is that God didn't steer me around it or steer it around me. He put me right in the heart of it, allowed me to be in a position where I could get the care I needed promptly and professionally, coherently, expertly, from the medical crew I was surrounded by and the proximity I was with a world-class stroke center. All of these things obviously worked to my favor, but at the same time, God did not spare me from experiencing this. And as a result, it has given me, here's that B again, it's given me an opportunity that every day since, in the last 3 weeks since I've returned to work, where I've been able to share my